Chapter 9.2 Expressing fractions in terms of the LCD. Okay, before we do the LCD, we have to know how to find LCM. Okay, LCM stands for the least common multiple. Okay, least common multiple is the smallest number, the smallest common multiple. It's a common multiple which is the smallest. So let's check two numbers, 12 and 18. The LCM of these two numbers is, okay, let's find the multiples of each number. So multiples of 12 is starting from 12, and 12 times 2 is 24, 24 times 3 is 36, and 12 times 4 is 48, and so on. There are so many multiples of 12, and even 18. 18 times 36, and 18 times 2 is 36, 18 times 3 is 54, and so on. So since there are so many multiples of two numbers, we want to find what? The common multiple. So for the common multiple for these two numbers is 36. And there are more numbers, more common multiples, but 36 is the smallest one. And we know that 36 is the LCM, the least common multiple. Okay, this is one of the method finding LCM. Let's try a different method. Okay, first we will factor each part, factor each number. So factoring, each number completely means, okay, do the prime factorization. So 12, okay, 12 is, let's use a tree method. So 12 is the product of 2 times 6, and 6 is 2 times 3. So actually 12 is the product of 2 times 2 times 3. So 2 times 3 is 2 squared times 3. Okay, 18. 18 is 2 times 9, and 9 is 3 times 3. So 18 is the product of 2, 3, and 3. So you can write it as 2 times 3 squared. So first of all, we have to factor completely to the prime factorization. And the second step is, okay, from this prime factorization, we will select the factors. Okay, select all the factors which has the largest exponent. So factor 2, so we have a factor 2, which is this factor has exponent 2, and the bottom one has exponent 1, so we will select 2 squared. And 3, okay, you have a 3, and the other one has 3 squared, we'll select 3 squared. So we selected two factors with the exponent, which has the largest exponent. Then the LCM. The LCM is the product of the selected factors. So 2 squared times 3 squared. So 4 times 9 is 36. So 36 is the LCM. So it's really important to do the prime factorization or factor completely, and then we will select the factor that has the largest exponent. Okay, so let's try an example. Okay, focus on question. Okay, find the LCM of two expressions. So we have two polynomials. So let's factor each part. The first step is factor each polynomial completely. So the first expression is, okay, 4 times x squared plus 1. And then if you rewrite it, this will be 2 squared times x squared plus 1. And the second polynomial, so we can factor this. This is x times x, 1 times 1. The cross multiply is 2. So this is equal to x plus 1 and x plus 1 squared. Okay, x plus 1. So that is x plus 1 squared. Then from this, LCM is the product of each factor. So let's select a factor that has the largest exponent. So look at this. X squared is the largest exponent. And the x squared plus 1 is one binomial. This one is also the only one, which is there's only one factor. That's the only one factor. That's the largest one. and the other one is this one. So okay, I think I made a mistake on the numbers, so oh my god. Okay, the question is, the first polynomial is 4x, then this will be 4x. So if we factor out 4, then this will be then we can, yeah, I copied the wrong questions. So we can factor out 4x from here. We can factor out 4x, then x plus 1. So this is equal to 2 squared times x plus 1. So from this, the LCM is the product of, okay, we'll have to select each factor that has the largest exponent. So 2 squared, and x is the only one, so select this guy. And then we have a factor x plus 1, and the other one is x plus 1 squared. So squared is large, squared, you know, the x plus 1 has the largest exponent too. So we will select this guy. So LCM is the product of 2 squared, which is 4 times x and x plus 1 squares. So that is the LCM. Okay, example 1, let's find the LCM of two expressions. So before we do this, make sure we have to write in, do the prime factorization. So 4 is 2 squared x squared y. The second expression is 2 times 3 x times y squared. So from this, the LCM is the product of all the factors that has the largest exponent. So we have a factor 2, and 2 squared is larger than 2. So we'll select 2 squared. And 3 is the only one, so that's the largest one. So we will select that. And then x. So we have x terms, but x squared is larger. So we'll select this x squared. And then we have y and y squared, then select y squared. So this is the LCM. So once we simplify this, 2 squared is 4, 4 times 3 is 12, x squared, y squared. So this is the LCM. Okay, for problem number 1, okay, pause this and then find the LCM. Okay, so we have two expressions. So rewrite the expression. Do the prime factorization for numbers. So 8 is 2 cubed. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. So 8 is 2 cubed u and v squared. 12 is 2 times 6. Okay, let's use tree method. 12 is 2 times 6, and 6 is 2 times 3. So 12 is 2 squared times 3 u, and we have a w. Okay, so from this, the LCM. Okay, LCM is the product of what? The largest factor. So 2 cubed, we have 2 squared and 2 cubed, so we will select 2 cubed. And 3 is the only one, so select this. And u, there's only one u. There are 2 u's, right? 2 u's, so we select one of them. And v squared is the only one, so that's the largest one. Also w is the only one, that's the largest one. So from this, LCM is the product of all selected factors. 2 cubed times 3 times u times v squared times w. So LCM is equal to 2 cubed is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. U, v squared, and w. So this is the LCM. Okay, example 2. Let's find the LCM of two polynomials. So when we find the LCM, we have to factor each part, right? Each polynomial. Okay, so minus 6 is, okay, let's use this. Okay, where can I use it? Okay, let's use this space. X times x. 6 is 2 times 3, and then minus sign should go on 3. So negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So the first polynomial is the product of x plus 2 and x minus 3. Okay, the second polynomial is 3 squared minus x squared, difference of squares. So this is equal to 3 plus x and 3 minus x. But as you see this, x minus 3 and 3 minus x. Let's look at this. You know, x and 3 are interchanged. So why don't we change 3 and x? Interchange this 3 and then put the negative sign in front of it. So this is equal to, so negative. So put the negative sign outside. 3 plus x. Okay, let me use a different color. So x plus 3 plus x stays there. And then we will switch 3 and x. So x minus 3. And then put the negative sign outside. Okay, so from this, let's find the LCD. So what is the LCD? LCM, sorry, use LCM. Okay, let's find the LCM. So find the factor that has the largest exponent. So we have x plus 2, that's the only one. So that's the only one. It's x plus 2. And then, okay, x minus 3. So we have 1x minus 3. 1x minus 3, this one, right? 1x minus 3. So let's use that one as one factor. And that's it. So that's the LCM. And do we have another one? Yes, we have. Sorry, there's another one which is 3 plus x. Okay, 3x plus x is the only one. So that is the LCM. Okay, x. So for this binomial 3 plus x, why don't we write x plus 3? So always, you know, write the variable term first. So x plus 3. So this is the LCM. So LCM is the product of 3 binomials. X plus 2, x minus 3, and x plus 3. Okay, pause this problem and do it on yourself and then check your answer with this. Okay. So if you did this, okay, let's factor this one. Okay, 9 is 3 times 3. So this is x times x. 9 is 3 times 3, and we need the negative. So put the both negative. So it will be negative 6m. So this is equal to m minus 3 is multiplied twice, so m squared, m minus 3 squared. And this one is m times m. Oh, why did I use x? It's gotta be m, right? M times m. Okay, negative 3 is 1 times 3, and then put the negative sign on negative 3, on 3. So negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. So this is equal to m plus 1, m minus 3. Now let's find the LCM. Okay, what's the LCM? Okay, m plus 1. Okay, we have m plus 1. This is the only one factor, so that's the largest one. Okay, and then m minus 3. Okay, m minus 3 is a factor, but this one has the power 2, so that's the largest one. So we'll select that one. So the LCM is the product of these two selected factors. Okay, next concept is expressing two factors in terms of the LCD. Okay, LCD means the least common denominator. Least common denominator is the LCM. Okay, LCD is the LCM, least common multiple of the denominators. So this stands for the denominator. So LCD is the LCM. Okay, LCM always is an LCM of the denominators. So if we write these two expressions, two fractions in terms of the LCD, so we have two expressions here and here. So let's rewrite the denominator. Okay, in terms of the LCD means rewrite the denominator. Rewrite the denominator with the LCM. That's what we're gonna do. So the LCD is the LCM of these two denominators. So 4x squared is equal to, okay, 4x squared, okay, 4 is 2 squared, x squared. And the next denominator is, okay, we can factor out 6x squared. This is x, sorry, this is just an x. Okay, so factor out 6, then 6x. Then we have x minus 2. All right. So we just factored each part, factored each polynomial, and then the LCM, okay, LCM of these two expressions is, okay, product of each, okay, 6. Okay, actually 6. Okay, let me rewrite this. Okay, 6 is 2 times 3 times x minus 2. So from this, LCM is, okay, 2. We have 2 factors 2, but 2 squared is the largest one. So 2 squared is the largest one. And we have x, but x squared is larger. So we'll select x squared. And then x minus 2 is the only one. So we'll select this one. So this is the LCD. LCD. So LCD is the LCM of the denominator, which is this guy. So this is the LCD, right? So we will rewrite. So what we do is we will rewrite each fraction using the LCD. So okay, the first fraction is this. So what we're gonna do is rewrite this. Okay, the numerator is x plus 1. And then we're gonna rewrite the denominator x 4x squared with, okay, this is equal to 4x squared x minus 2. So we would rewrite this as 4x squared x minus 2. But there is a problem. Okay, let me rewrite this with different color. Okay. Now what we did is we just replaced the denominator with LCD. Then we have to find a factor so that multiply the numerator by the missing factor. Okay, so that means here it is 4x squared. We have 4x squared. So actually, x minus 2, this binomial, actually, this factor is multiplied to the denominator. This is an extra factor in the denominator. So what we do is we have to multiply the numerator by the extra factor, x minus 2. So originally, so the right side of this equation, once we reduce it, we must have the expression in the left side of that equation. So the original expression is x plus 2. The numerator is the x plus 1, and the denominator is 4x squared. So we must have this. Okay, for the second fraction, okay, rewrite the fraction. So the numerator is x minus 3, and the denominator, okay, the denominator will be replaced by the LCD, which is 4x squared x minus 2. And let's check the extra factor that is added to the, multiply to the denominator. All right, so the extra factor is, the LCM is 3. I forgot this number 3. This one. So we have to multiply this by 3 as well. So that will be, that will be 12. I'm sorry, this is 4 times 3 is 12, right? 12. So the LCD is 12 times x squared, x minus 3, x minus 2. So this gotta be 12. So this gotta be 12, right? 12. So 4 times 3, the extra one is 4 times 3. Okay, 4 times 3 is 12. So we gotta multiply the numerator by what? 3 as well. Okay, 3, because 12, okay, 12 is 4 times 3, right? 4 times 3. 12 is 4 times 3, so we already have 4 and 3 left over. So 3 is an extra factor. So multiply that extra factor to the numerator. So even this one, so this is 12, right? 12. So this denominator is what? 6x, then x minus 2. So let's compare the denominator. 6x, we have x minus 2, x minus 2. And then 1x, 1x. So the left, in order to make the LCD, we gotta multiply the numerator by 2 and x. Multiply by 2x. Because, okay, we have a 12. So 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12. So we gotta multiply the numerator by 2. And then x. We have 1x. So we have to multiply. The extra factor is x. Extra factor is x. So multiply the numerator by x. So we just rewrote the expression in terms of the LCD. Okay, example 3. This is kind of a little bit confused. Okay, anyway, let's find the LCD. So let's rewrite these two fractions in terms of the LCD. Okay, now LCD is the LCM of the denominators. LCM of the denominators, right? In this case, 3x squared and 8xy. So, from these two, let's find the LCM. Okay, LCM is 3x squared and then 8. 8 is, okay, let me rewrite this. 8xy is equal to 2 cubed xy, and this is 3x squared. So from this, okay, from this LCM, so the LCD or LCM is product of 3, product of 2 cubed, and x and y. So that will be 8 times 3 is 24 x squared. So this is x squared y. We will select the largest exponent. So largest exponent is 3, 2 cubed, x squared, and y. So that's the LCD. So we can rewrite this. So the numerator x plus 2 and the denominator is what? Okay, 3x squared. This is 3x squared. 3x squared. And then we want to write this one in a 24x squared y. We have the denominator has to be 24x squared y. So why don't we multiply the numerator and the denominator? So why don't we multiply the numerator and the denominator by what? To make this 24x squared y. So 3 times 8 is 24. We already have x squared and then y. Right? So let me use a different color. So what we'll do is multiply the denominator by 8y, so that the denominator will be 24x squared y. Okay, so since we multiplied the denominator by 8y, we got to multiply the numerator by 8y. Then the numerator will be 8x plus 2y. So multiply the whole numerator by 8y. So we just rewrote the first fraction in terms of the LCD. Okay, let's try the second fraction. The second fraction is the numerator is x minus 1 divided by 8xy. 8xy. So we will multiply this by, okay, let's first multiply the denominator by something so that the denominator will be the LCD. LCD is 24x squared y. So what we have to so we gotta multiply 8 by 3. So that will be 24. And then also multiply by x. So x will be x squared and y. So we made the denominator the LCD. So what we do is multiply the numerator by the same denominator, 3x. So multiply x minus 1 by 3x, then that will be 3 times 3x times x minus 1. Okay, done. Okay, problem 3, write two fractions in terms of the LCD. Okay, please pause this and then rewrite the fractions. Okay, then let's try. Okay, let's find the LCD first. So the LCD is 4xy squared is equal to 2 squared xy squared. And then 9y squared z is equal to 3 squared y squared z. So from this we know that the LCD is the product of 2 squared, 3 squared, x, and we have y squared, so y squared and z. So 2 squared is 4 and 9 squared is 3 squared is 9, so that is 4 times 9 is 36, x, y squared, z is the LCD. So let's rewrite each expression in terms of the LCD. Okay. So this one should be multiplied by, okay, now the LCD. So the denominator should be the LCD, which is 36 x y squared z. So in order to make this denominator, okay, 4 should be multiplied by 9. So 4 times 9 is 36. And x, we have an x, and the y squared, also we have y squared, and we need z. So the denominator becomes LCD. Since we multiply the denominator by 9z, multiply the numerator by 9z as well. So this is equal to, the numerator will be 9 times, write down x first, and then z. So that is the expression fraction in terms of the LCD. Okay, let's write the second fraction. So this is 2x plus 1 over 9y squared z. So we're going to multiply this by something so that the denominator will be the LCD. 36 x y squared z. So let's find the factor so that the denominator becomes the LCD. So 9 times what is 36? 4, right? 4. 9 times 4 is 36. And then we need to multiply x. And then y squared exists, z exists. So what we do is we multiply the denominator, both the numerator and denominator, by 4x. Okay, then the numerator becomes, okay, multiply this by 4x. So write down the 4x first, and then 2x plus 1 next. Actually, the order doesn't matter, but we usually write number first, and then variable, single variable, and binomials. Okay, done. Okay, let's write two expressions in terms of the LCD. So this one has the denominators. So why don't we factor the denominator? Okay, to find the LCD, let's factor the denominator. Then the common factor is x, so 2 minus x. Even the second fraction, okay, factor the denominator, then this is 2 times 3. X times x, 2 times 3, and minus sign goes on 4, so 3 minus 2 is 1. So there will be x minus 2 and x plus 3. So as you can see this one, as you see this, okay, what is the LCD? Okay, let's directly use this. Okay, the LCD is the product of all the factors that has the largest exponent. So here is x. Okay, 2 minus x, and this is x minus 2. So why don't we interchange these two? Interchange these two, then put the negative sign outside. So I think I better rewrite it. 2x minus 1 over get negative x and then x minus 2. Okay, let me rewrite it like this. And the negative sign goes to the front. Okay, so let's put the negative sign outside. So actually this is equal to what? X minus 2 and then negative sign. Okay, so let's use the right hand side. Right hand side. So the LCD is now, okay, let's compare these two factors, two denominators. So we have x here, so LCD is x times, okay, we have 1 x minus 2, and x plus 3, this one. So that is the LCD. So we can rewrite it. So rewrite this. So negative, the numerator 2x minus 1 divided by x times x minus 2. So I'm going to multiply this by something. I don't have enough space. Okay, so multiply this by something so that we will have the LCD x times x minus 2, x minus 3. Okay, and then we also have a minus sign outside, this minus sign. All right, so what should we multiply the denominator? Okay, x minus 2, we have an x, x minus 2, x minus 3 is missing. So multiply the denominator by x minus 3 so that we get the LCD. Then multiply the numerator by x minus 3. So the numerator will be 2x minus 1 times x minus 3. Okay. How about the second fraction? Okay, let me rewrite this second fraction. So we want to multiply this by something so that the denominator will be the LCD. Denominator will be the LCD, so we have to find the numerator. Okay, so what we do is we multiply the denominator by comparing the factors. Okay, compare the denominator and the LCD. So we have x minus 2, x plus 3 in the denominator, but x is missing. So multiply both top and bottom by x, then the numerator will be x squared. So that's it. Okay, problem 4. Okay, pause this problem and then try yourself. Okay, let's do it now. Okay, in order to rewrite the fractions in terms of the LCD, we must have the LCD, the denominators should be replaced with the LCD. So we have to factor, to find the LCD, we have to factor what? The denominator. So x plus 4 over denominator, this 2 times 5. X times x, 2 times 5 is 10, and the minus sign goes on, negative 5. So negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. So the denominator is x plus 2, x plus 2, and x minus 5. Okay, the bottom one is, the second fraction is, this is x squared minus 5 squared. So that is equal to x plus 5, x minus 5. So from this, what is the LCD? Okay, LCD is the product of all the factors that has the largest exponent. So it will be x plus 2. I have x minus 5 and x plus 5. So that is the LCD. So let's rewrite it. Rewrite the fraction and then multiply the denominator by something so that the denominator will be the LCD, x plus 2, x plus 5, x minus 5. So what should we multiply the denominator to make the LCD? The denominator, the LCD. Okay, let's find the missing factor. X plus 2, x minus 5. For what we need is x plus 5. So the factor x plus 5 is missing from this denominator. So multiply the numerator by x plus 5. So the numerator becomes x plus 4 times x plus 5. Okay. Even the second part, second expression is 2x over x plus 5, x minus 5. So by multiplying the denominator becomes the LCD, x plus 2, x plus 5, x minus 5. So let's find the missing factor. So x plus 5, x minus 5, the missing factor is x plus 2. So multiply the numerator by x plus 2. Then the numerator becomes 2x times x plus 2. So we just rewrote the fractions in terms of the LCD.